Just leave it come and I'll edit it out.
Okay. Marriage and divorce. Those are the two topics that I'm going to talk about today. They are some very important social problems, and they should usually be seen as through God's eyes. The Webster Dictionary defines marriage as the state of being united to a person of the opposite sex, or as husband or wife, in a consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law. On the other hand, divorce is the action or an instance of dissolving that marriage. The reason why I chose this subject is because it's a very important social problem that we deal with nowadays. We see it all the time. Just walking down the street, you see single moms with their kids, you see families that are split up, you see children that have problems like psychological problems and many other reasons. One of my first points is I want to discuss why divorce is so popular. And divorce is very popular, and it was rated as marriage has a rate of 6.8 to 1,000 people, and divorce has a rate of 3.4 to 1,000 people, and that means that half of the marriages that take place in America today end up in divorce, which is kind of sad. Think about it. Anyway, a lot of couples find little excuses that they can't get along, they just can't work it out, but really those are just excuses, because you can work it out somehow. You just got to put your effort into it. And also, one of the other reasons why divorce is so popular is because everything that we see on TV has to do with divorce. All the stars in Hollywood, they have like they're on their third or fourth marriage, and that really doesn't set up a good example for everybody that watches TV. Secondly, couples that have not yet got married, they're engaged and they're thinking about getting married one day, they should know what they're getting themselves into without having to make that mistake of vowing in front of God to keep a promise, but then not being able to keep it. For example, me and my husband have dated for almost 2 years before we got married, and that way we got to know each other very well, and we knew what to expect from one another. And also, there's also couples counseling. You can talk with your pastor from your church or any other adult that has been in a committed relationship and knows what they're talking about, and get advice from them and see it through their eyes, so you can maybe make an idea of what's going to be up to come. Thirdly, I think that a lot of couples that go through rough times should try to work it out. And I'm going to read a passage from the Bible now, from Matthew chapter 19, verses 4 through 6. It says, Jesus says actually, "Haven't you heard," he replied, "that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate, not even ourselves." The only thing that can separate us after we get married is death, and that's something that God will have an effect on. Also, Elisa Bauman, on her website, she makes a good point in replying to to a question that was addressed to her about a couple that was having problems. The husband wanted to work out the relationship, the wife didn't really, she just wanted a divorce. Is that we just put it in our mind, it's just our mindset that we just got to get divorced, and we don't try to overlook that at any certain way. So all in all, I think that the best way to go through a rough time is to keep a positive outlook and to see maybe what's ahead, and stop overthinking all the problems that come up. And I think that us as Christians should always try to help our brothers and sisters around us, and should always try not to be nosy, but just to talk to them and see what's wrong, and maybe see which ways we can help.